pet detective. Tell us a little bit about what you do, Lace, and where you're from.
Oh, I'm from Denver, Colorado. I'm a native, and I've loved animals my entire life. So, of course, I do the regular job, but then I wanted to do something that I love to do. But I was very inconvenienced, and I had lost an animal by death, and I had lost two animals by losing them. So I became very, very uh, involved into both of them. When I lost my two cats, they were lost for an extensive amount of time. First one was 3 weeks, and I retrieved it by the river by my house to follow to the water. And then the other one was 20 blocks away, and I found it 3 months later. So when I found my babies, I knew that I had to help other people out. So when I started getting on the internet and surfing the web and checking all the local listings, I started to coincide and put little personalities and faces and the breeds and the labels and the areas all together. And you could say I'm a mean old maid player, because I would map them up, match them up, and I'd call them, and the people would be so happy. And I was like, I'm hooked. And I only asked that they send a letter of gratitude or something like that, and I have plenty of them. Look, I'm just tearing up just talking about it. But what I also do is I have my own service, and it's because I had a dog of 14 years. His name was Sparky, and he passed away. And during the time when he was passing, I knew he had a tumor in his stomach. He was 14 years old. So I decided what would be the best way for my little buddy to go out. So I researched and I researched and I researched. And I figured out I didn't want to go the veterinarian way. I wanted the veterinarian to come to me. I wanted my little buddy to be around the family and my additional pets, just so we could all say goodbye in a not rushed type of environment. So when this all happened and transpired, I didn't want the veterinarian to even handle any of the cremation process, because I don't know where and how that would actually turn up, and if I would even get my own personal little buddy's ashes back. So to me, it's that important to love my fur baby. So I took him myself personally. I inspected the place and made sure it was superb for my little King Tut. Then, fast forward, I decided to take some business courses, set a business plan, and start Denver, Colorado's first boutique pet funeral service. And I do everything that you could ever imagine. I do celebrations of life. I do physically come and get your little buddy. We can establish a relationship, and we can even establish a proactive plan for when your little buddy is getting older, or just to prepare. We could do all that together. So we have memorial products. I offer my services if you are in Colorado. In the surrounding areas, I offer my services. Every single thing is set in 2 packages. It's very simple. And if you just go to yourrainbowconnection.com, I can tell you all about it. I can offer you grievance counseling if this has already happened. And I have many, many services and products available there. And I'm so excited to share it.
I was going to try to pull up your website real quick so we could show them.
Check it out.
But see if it works. Your Rainbow Connection, the first emergency responders who assist in the recovery of lost pets. Very cool.
That's my logo. It's very personalized. And I believe this service is needed. You know, I did market research, and it told me exactly who to focus on. And there's so many pet-loving communities here in Colorado. I don't know if you've been, but we love our fur babies. Like, seriously. Like, I love my fur babies. Let me show you. Got my little
Oh my God.
pizza.
What is her name?
I got Mini Me. You want to see Mini Me?
I do. Oh, that's adorable. How old is she?
That's Gigi. She's about a month old. She's a little
Oh my God. She's so cute.
And then, long and behold, this is her daddy. But his name is Colby, and he's been Colby. And guess what? His baby's name is Gigi.
Oh. They're too cute. It makes me miss my little dogs. I've got a big 60-pound mutt.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like I said, like, if you love your pet, you can proactively plan just like you would, like, for myself. Like, you know, it's something that I want planned out. And I have so many services that I've coincide with to, like, make your ultimate dream, like florist, like ceremony, you know, the park, your house, burial, cremation, spreading of the ashes by balloon. Like, we go big, like, seriously.
People love their pets. You got to sit them out and plan it properly.
No, I love them that much. Like, I want to go big, right? Like, 14 years, little dude went with me from sleeping to the pool room, like, all the way through and through, every day, every night. So, hey.
Absolutely. I appreciate what you're doing. So how have you been affected by the pandemic? Are you
oh, well, you know, getting back to, of course, there's not too much profit in what I do, but I love it all because, of course, it feels good right here. Teaches my little mama what to do, you know.
Absolutely.
And then my stories are ridiculous. Like, the people that I can talk to and tell my stories, I'm thinking about writing a book about it, you know. I got my little journal. I even have some letters that I haven't even opened, so we can even do another video. That's what I'm saying. I could read, like, letter after letter, like, what? Jeez, I thought that little buddy was gone. That was so many months ago. Like, no, you better go right here, call this, go on this street. And I'm not talking about roaming the streets. I'm talking about they have been at a shelter, veterinarian clinic, stuck, cooped up for like 3 months. Like, everybody has a different way to connect the lost pet, or some people just keep them, right? And some dogs are never found. But I'm at 143 found pets right now.
Yeah, that's really cool. So as a pet detective, you actually are able to track down people's lost animals?
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I do it like this. Like I said, I can look at animals. Of course, you want to differentiate the breeds, right? Location is very important, right? You want to check all the local shelters, right? You want to check all the next door, the paw booths, right? The pet harbors, that's pretty much everywhere. You want to check the local humane society, right? You want to put those posters up, make them real bright, fluorescent colors, right? I can go to the dollar store, put the real dark, thick ice cream cone duct tape. Like, I'm trying to present it, like, right. Whatever. That's what'll throw a person's eye off to really actually check it out, you know? And the nextdoor.com, talking to people in the neighborhood. I mean, I was calling my kitty, tapping a tuna can, like, hello, and all these things, they seriously work, you know? So I've trick and traded all the Facebook accounts, and like, I get the link, I can scroll down and boom, there it is. That's the dog everyone's looking for, right? Like, the first person to post it, get to the people, they're like, no way. Like, I'm good with this. All I ask is a note of gratitude, right? But, you know, that's why I need you guys, because I'm like zero. I work at the 2 sporting stadiums, right? And they both closed down. They like both shut down because you can't have any more basketball games, right? You can't have any baseball games, right? Like, I'm stuck. I don't have anything going on because I've saved my savings up, and now it's depleted because we have nothing. We have to provide food. My little baby right here has no school. So we're just here like 24/7 and then some. So that's what it's all about, right? So that's why I'm calling out. Like, I do what I do because I love it, and me, the universe, we're all together on this. But the money right now is really tight for me, or I would never be asking for such a thing. And I want to continue to do what I do and do what I do, and not ask people for money, you know, not ask, oh, by any chance, I will tell you where your dog is if you offer a reward. Or it's like holding something hostage, right? So we're past that. We don't do any of that. I spend hours and hours a day because it's fun, right? Because I love it. And I love that these babies are not at the shelter or being euthanized, right? Or being like roaming the streets, little 2-pound chihuahuas. Like,
Yeah, so
that's
good.
why I do it, right?
Out
But
there.
then again, that's where I come in. I'm a little bit of a lecturer. I'm like, so you got your baby back. Follow up in a week. Did you microchip your baby? Or the collar is $8 at Walmart right there at the front machine, like, right? Some of these dogs are hundreds of dollars, and then they're your loved one, but you don't collar or even put a necklace with a tape with the number or marker, or just like, that's where I'm kind of off. So I want to start educating and, lightly let you know what you should do if you love your fur babies.
For sure. You definitely have a niche market, and I think people need your help, because when you lose your pet, you just kind of lose your mind for a little bit and you forget about all those
I think of them like, they love their babies, and you will cry. You will go crying, like you won't be able to sleep. I've heard of people sleeping by their front doors, for this little shepherd named Nala. They wanted to put the baby in the wedding, and it left and ran away or jumped out the window of their house, like while she was on vacation, right? Nala off of Federal and Alameda. Like, I'm looking, like thousands of dollar rewards, like Alina Jack Russell with the white dash right here, like $5,000 reward from Sally Bishop on Facebook. Like, these people love their animals, and I would do anything to reunite them, right? So if I get a whole repertoire going, Lace Ventura, Pet Detective, like, I'm revamped.
That's yourrainbowconnection.com. You guys
Yes.
Out to Lace Ventura and hear more about her story. If you want to donate to the Streamathonforpets.com, we will be giving some of that money to Lace. Hopefully, when we have everything said and done, we can help her out. That's why we're doing this, and we appreciate you calling in. And there's fingers. Yeah. So just one last moment before I let you go. Do you want to say anything to the world? Give everyone a message? Not to put you on the spot.
Thank you so much. I know I talk a lot, but it's because I love to do what I do, right? And it's a passion, and I want to help people before they go through it or while they're going through it, right? So they can reach out to me at any time. Haven't really went state to state or, universal, international, but we can. That's the plan. What I want to do is start here, right? Maybe franchise state to state, your Rainbow Connection boutique pet funeral parlor service, right? And offer additional services, but it's just 2 packages. It's really quite simple. And it's better to plan it before it happens, right?
For sure.
Proactively.
Be ready. That way it's not so emotionally stressful.
Exactly. And those microchips, they work, right?
Absolutely.
Like, that'll help you. Like, if anyone tries to keep the dog, if it's microchipped, they take it to the vet. Chances are some things will happen, and you've heard amazing stories, and I have a bunch of them as well.
All right, Lace, it was really great to talk to you. Thanks so much for calling in. Hi, little puppy.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for participating.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'll be watching for sure. And anybody can email me or stay in touch. Absolutely. And I got some stickers and I got some other things. If anybody wants anything, just email me. I got some merch.
Cool.
I'm gonna get a merch from you, Mom.
I got merch. Do it for this or that, but I do it because, hey, these stories, my girl, like, she does this with me. I'm teaching her all about focus, love, empathy, compassion, and a pet advocacy, right?
Absolutely. All right. You have a great evening. Thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you. Zoom in, zoom out.
Zoom in, zoom out. That's a good thing. All right. Red button.
Live on Streamathon for Pets. We're having a great time with Amina from Bridging Worlds. The website is bridgingworlds.us. A wide variety of services that you offer. And I appreciate you joining us on the program tonight. I know that you're passionate about pets, you're passionate about rescue.
I like the people a little bit too.
That's right. So any kind of final words for our viewers, anything you'd like to share with our viewers, and then we're going to bring on our next guest and introduce the two of you. It's a perfect a mesh of some of what we talked about, and also, you know, we're all about networking here as well, in addition to being a fundraiser.
You know, if I have a final word, it would be, you're never alone, and you're never doing this on your own. If you're living alone, you're not alone. If you have pets, you're not alone. They feel things that you do. They're not us. They're not gonna feel sad, mad, happy, glad the same. So we give them a lot of our human, oh, he thinks that's wonderful, yummy, terrible, whatever. And it might be true, and it might not. When you open your heart to, let me get on one of my little soapbox really fast, is the honeybee. Everything you eat is guaranteed happening because of her. By the way, the boys only lived 6 weeks, so we're not going to talk about the boy bees, just the girl bees. The world matters. Everything you do matters. You think that dropping your trash on the ground doesn't matter. It does, because there's an animal that could be hurt by that bottle cap or whatever chemical you've left behind, and we're killing the earth. The one thing as an animal person I love for everybody to know is, look at the news. We got lions sitting in roads. We got dolphins in the canals. We got jellies down the, what is the thing in Vienna? And they've got dolphins going down because we have stopped polluting our planet. We can see in the ozone is missing. So do things on purpose, lovingly, and you'll get it back in spades. You really will.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you, Amina. Again, it's bridgingworlds.us. Please check it out. Recommend her services to anybody that wants to connect and communicate better with their pets. Jen is communicating right now with her pet Rex.
I know.
It's not going well.
Jen, welcome back to the program. You've got your hands full over there, Jen.
Too much love. Too much
So
love.
good and so sleepy, but he just had to get up here and get his nose in this business.
Oh, what a cutie.
So I want to introduce Lace Ventura, pet detective, and I kept Amina on the line because I think that they are just the perfect match, and I love networking people in this Streamathon. It's definitely part of what we're trying to do here. So Lace, let me give you the stage for a minute, and you and Amina can have a conversation. I'm gonna try to get Rex to sit down so I can join you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
So, Lace, I would love to know, I'm going to be the interview for you first because I've gotten to talk a lot. I am loving everything you do. If I had something I don't like to do is finding pets. It's heartbreaking, and I take on too much of their emotions.
Right.
So I've been better at putting that block and protecting myself. But I would love to get some tips from you, as well as everybody else, of just, you know, what we can do as pet owners besides chipping our pets, keeping them indoors, you know, especially our cats, hamsters, guinea pigs, you know, all those things. Dogs maybe a little more outside. But what can we do to really, because we talked about fireworks, and I really want to talk about, it's not just the sound. They can feel the vibration, and just let's cover some of that.
Yeah, I definitely think that your feelings and your vibes and the household energy, it's important. The universe, the feelings, I think everything comes together and all mixes together. So if it's negative, I definitely believe that the animals flee for that reason. Or, you know, it could be somebody coming into your house, or just many, many changes. I think that is one of the reasons, but once they're gone, these are the things I do to drum back. You know, of course, I want to focus. I want to call them in, of course, with energy. But of course, got to go through the normal protocol as well, right? You want to do posters because a lot of people still don't do the internet. Excuse me, I'm busy right now. And of course, I always go to nextdoor.com. That's my first go-to. And I use resources like Paw Boost and Pet Harbor.
You go to
Pet Harbor's
Next Door. I know what Next Door is very well.
Yes.
But I would really like you, because I know a lot of people still, I'm having to explain Meetup. I have my classes on Meetup, and I'm still explaining what the heck Meetup is. And
well, you know.
So explain Next Door, because it's more valuable than people think.
Yeah, it goes by zip code.
Or an emergency, you need to know.
Yeah, that's true. So next door would be your main neighbors, like your immediate block 2, 3, 4. It goes by zip code.
Oh, okay.
You want to start with like a 12, 15 block radius, right? I always like to calculate maybe about 5 or 6 days, or 5 or 6 blocks a day is what a normal lost crazy cat would go, right?
Right, a lost pet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So a cat, I would say about 6 blocks a day, and they might roam northeast, south, or west. I would focus on where the water is. They might try and go back to, if you just move someplace, they would probably be going that direction towards the old house, right? You're just moving place. And then the water source is very important. I like to make bold posters, like fluorescent duct tape, fluorescent boarding.
Unless you're blind, we'll see them, right?
Yes, exactly. That's because that really helps. And Facebook is amazing, right? Absolutely. I couldn't even imagine if Facebook wasn't around, and your local Facebook, lost and found dogs, and then put your state. If you have that, I've already accumulated probably about 20 Facebook lost pages. So when I get to scrolling, I'm seeing all of them, and I'm starting to get it in my brain. I'm taking screenshots. I'm thinking about breeds in my mind. You know, I'm looking at specific traits about the animal, you know, like specific markings, you know, sizes, a funny tooth, you know, one eye. Like, these things matter somewhat like you would think of humans, right? You have traits, things you remember them by.
Right.
And it all goes right up here. And I start to think like, all right, buddy, where are you? Or, you know, I just really start to focus and transcend with the universe and try and summon the baby home, right?
Right.
And when I work with the parents, I say, you got to put stinky socks.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. You do the walking. Do you do the sniffing thing? I tell them all the time, wear something sweaty and walk slowly all around your neighborhood and come back home.
My cat is trained that when he hears a can opener or a can, it doesn't matter if it's not tuna. He's there, like wherever the tuna, the can.
Yeah.
So that I say, walk around, shake a cat food box or whatever cat your nose, right?
Right.
Had a cat for 12 years, and I go, here, kitty, 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 real fast. Every time, it would never fail. 2 blocks, you'd see him running down the street. That's my call, right?
Right.
So you can pre-plan by training your animal in these ways with a specific scent, with a specific noise.
Yeah.
You can get this into his brain, so when that day comes, they're more likely to come back to you.
Well, and just tagging on what you said, we had rescue shepherds and dogs, and same with kids. I always use the children the same thing. If they run into the street, you don't have a long enough arm. You can't run fast enough.
Right.
A dog, for example, I don't know you could use this legally on a child, but you could, you know, go have it. But
there you go.
I used to whistle really, really loud. And you can get a cheap dollar one at the dollar store. I love the dollar store. And just whistle and train the dog for a recall.
Right,
and
right.
You and I both know you can use that when they're lost. They can hear that for half a mile or more because their ears are so good. But you get them to come back from a dangerous situation.
Right. The proactive planning.
Exactly. Do it before you need it.
Exactly. And that's exactly where I've also integrated into the boutique pet funeral parlor, is because an emergency is an emergency, right? In some of these situations, as sad as it is, some of these animals, they're deceased, right?
Right.
So that comes with the territory. When a dog is gone, a little Chihuahua, he's destined to run in the street, most likely, because they flee instead of coming. They're already in the flight mode, right? So when that happens, of course, this is part of the emergency process, and the grieving is serious, so that's where I integrated this into. You can get a cremation, have a celebration of life, have some closure. I included the home euthanizing, right? In order for the animals within your house to also grieve, and everybody to just get the grieving out, and to know, of course, it's not your fault, but you did the best that you could do.
Right.
And you were prepared, and your pet was loved, right? Your fur baby was loved so much that you took it upon yourself to do the extras, right?
Right.
And the pet portraits, the memorial products, all of those things, they help you move through the process, right?
And you know what I want to applaud?
The vets
you?
are filled up.
Yeah, I want to applaud you really what you're
animals.
doing, because people are having pets instead of human children.
Yes,
which is great for the planet
true.
too. But
It's true.
what you're offering is not only quantifying that their love is valid, to have been, because so many people still go, what are you doing? It's a dog, it's a cat.
Right.
And these are the people that throw them out in the trash, and we don't want to talk to them. But you're giving, that's why I'm so thrilled that I got to meet you, because our hearts are in the same place. And it's just, you're giving quantifiably a way to grieve and say, this is normal, this is natural.
Exactly.
So let it go, heal. Don't take it with you for the next 50 years and ruin your health for that reason. All your hair falls out and your teeth fall out because you're so stressed, because that is not possible. And for you and I, it is perfect, because I'm able to come in after also and say, this is what happened during that death. And if it was your fault or isn't your fault or whatever, this is where you need to let go, because that pet has already done so. They live in the moment and they're not doing that grieving. But what
I would love to establish
is amazing.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you can establish a relationship with the people as they're going through it. Right. And maybe 6 months, a year, you never want to rush this, but 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road, they're available to adopt another animal. Right. And that would be just the ultimate dream, is to have the love that you were lacking, and the love that the dog or the cat was lacking at the shelter. It would be the perfect integration once again, right?
Right.
And I know it's hard. I would never rush that on anybody, but
that's a cycle
that needs to happen.
That you're saying the rushing twice, because I really want to stop and put it in bold if we were writing it, because too many people are like, no, I'll feel better if I just buy one more car or a bigger house or get that Cadillac job or whatever. Pets are the same. People go around and collect them. Or they got 12. And if you have 12, I'm sorry, anybody in the audience. If you're on a ranch and you're Caesar Milan, that's fine. And he's got 12 dogs and he's got the land for it.
Right.
But it's about not having 12 kids when you can't afford them, because these are your children. If you can't afford the care and time and energy and that kind of stuff. But by not grieving, you go and adopt too soon. And you bring another life into your life. So I really, really want people to hear what you said about, no, this is the time to grieve and say it's okay. When you're ready, that right pet will be ready for you. But if you do it too soon, boy, I've seen big train wrecks. And I've been a part of those. Young 20-something, getting the wrong pet, going, oh, well, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I wasn't ready.
I had my flyer of So this was my logo. I'm sure everybody saw it maybe on the
Oh, that's
website.
beautiful.
And it basically says, be secure knowing your pet is all taken care of. I have a very easy phone number because it says I bought it.
Oh.
And then I just simply did 2 packages. One before the pet shall pass, and then one if the pet is already passed.
That's
And
great.
I think it makes it very simple because this is something that's unheard of in the past.
Mhm.
But for the future, I think it's well needed, right?
Right. Now,
And,
are these services only available in your local area?
I
right now?
just have myself and my little emergency team that responds for me.
Mhm.
And it's a thorough process. And you can trust that your dog is in the best care. And when I return them back, it's a relief, right? Because if you're in the time of need and you don't know how to approach the situation,
Right.
you're kind of just stuck. You're just stuck. You don't know what to do. And you always miss a step, whichever step that might be, right? So I've just put it very easily for the people here within Colorado, the surrounding areas. I can help out. But of course, if anybody had any questions, I would research home euthanizing because I think it's the way to go for the future. And
Well, and
the
a
part
lot
about
of
Ethan
vets
was speaking about, I
Northern
remember the
California.
story Ethan had to say.
Right. Well, here in Northern California, you're right. A lot of the vets are doing that, are coming into people's homes to create a much calmer end of life experience.
Right.
And that type of stuff. So you're right.
I think that the important part is to not do it at the time when it's needed, to have it pre-planned before, because at the time when it's needed, it might be too late. So if you had pre-planned out, you might even be able to work with the prices or go with somebody that's a good price point for you, right? And if you're in a time of emergency, you wouldn't want to be calling here, there, and everywhere at that specific hour.
No.
Right?
No.
So it's good to pre-plan and to call places and figure out a plan, just like you would anything else in your life that you're thorough about and that you love. You have your child, you have your doctor's phone number available, right?
Right.
Yeah, you would prepare. So that's the same way that I've thought about this, that in the time of need, you don't want to call this and that and nobody's answering and because it's clinch time and now you need to go to the veterinarian,
and
right?
you're so in an emotional state, as you said. The packages
Exactly.
you're offering, what I love about them is you don't have to have a lot of cognitive ability still intact with your emotions
exactly.
intact, because you just
let
say,
me take care of all that.
This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah, I want flowers, and that kind of stuff. Because
exactly.
We've had a lot of funerals in my family in the last 5 years, and it's just like, okay, here we go again. And what was nice when my mom passed is that it was all done. My mom and dad had a plan. They had it all XYZ, and still my sister who had to take care of the estate had that kind of stuff to deal with that didn't,
exactly.
But it was planned. It's just you and I both know that your emotions change, the taxes change, the vet changed, and you kind of have, as you said, make a plan and then make sure you update it all the time.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to read one of these letters. Should I read one?
Absolutely.
What do you think, Jen?
I would love to hear one of your letters.
I would too. I've held on to these and I was so excited. So this one is from Christy Ann Lunds, okay? And I know exactly what pet this is, but I've never opened it. But this story is real good. This is a little white cat that was lost by this individual. Here we go. Oh, it's good, guys. Oh, we'll only get a chance to do one because this is going to be good. To whom it may concern, I wanted to write this letter to express my gratitude to Lace for helping me find my lost cat. Shortly after adoption, Petunia escaped my apartment. She and I had only spent a short time together, but I was but I loved her dearly. Even still, when she got out, it was cold and snowy outside, and I was homesick. I put out flyers everywhere. At night, I spent hours looking for her in alleys. I had almost given up hope until Lace called. She told me she had found my cat and had been feeding Petunia, and it was hiding under a shed in someone's backyard. I rushed over immediately, but Petunia was scared, so she would not come out of her hiding spot. After hours, I decided it was time to leave, but I'd be back. I kept trying, and for the next few weeks, Lace something, and fed Petunia, right? And to coax her out of her hiding spot. But neither of us were able to get to her. She suggested that I take a cat trap over that I found at the not-profit, and I did. I asked to borrow one of their cat traps, and they loaned it to me for free. Then I got a call from a woman who had seen my flyer, and she said the cat was in her backyard. So again, I looked under the shed, and I brought the cat trap, and with the tuna and the blankets, the woman pulled out the cat trap, and Petunia walked right into it. After 2 months of being outside, my lost kitty was finally home, and as soon as she got in my ride, she was herself again, full of love and affection. She was so happy to be reunited with her other pets and her friends. Without Lace, none of this would have ever been possible. I highly recommend her emergency pet service. Aww.
That's
and I remember Petunia like she's my child.
It does. It does. And it just warms our heart because what we love, you're doing a wonderful thing. And you need to come to California so I don't have to do this anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't mind to. So yeah, I definitely was trying to say on my last video that I would never hold another person's pet ransom for some money, right? Mm. And I do this just strictly from my heart and because I love animals that much. And like you, I love most animals more than I love most humans. But I definitely am not in it for the money. I still do what I do and I love it. Because these
but you also have to make a living. I had to get past reading for people for free because I needed to switch careers and the world had made it crystal clear that this is what I needed to be doing. And my mentor, who's a pet psychic in Texas, and my kids said, no, Mom, you need to realize you deserve to be paid for what, even if it's a God-given gift, you deserve to be paid a living wage. So don't be afraid to, ask for money for what you're offering and the skills you're offering. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants free, but I think they would respect and appreciate you even more by being able to say, you know what, I really want this and I want to participate. So here's my commitment. Right. With money. So I really want to encourage you because people did with me is to say you are worth being paid because yes, you're giving of your heart and your time, but you're giving your talent, your organizational talent, your foresight talent, all the things we can see that you're talking about, and you deserve to be paid to do that. Well, thank you so much. Well, I really I'll be on the other side of the rainbow. I can guarantee that. Well, that's in my cards. There you go. There's nothing that can stop that. Now, do you do any kind of special events? Do you do any pet shows when we're, all doing public stuff? Is there a way to find you that we all can find you on a website or something? Yeah, I do. yourrainbowconnection.com. Okay. I've established a little blog there that I want to put more of the stories, the names. Oh, good. The stories everybody loves. Yes. Stories. The stories. And I have so many. I have 143 stories. Do you got time? Wow. I think 15 minutes is it. In the next 10 minutes, let me see. Yeah. Well, and you and I, you could what I would suggest, because you're so charismatic, is think about either, doing videos, fine, but a book, I think that seems, it resonates. I'm supposed to tell you that you should do a book. So I don't know if you've already started it, but the world wants you to do a book.
I went and met Bruce Cameron, and I listened to him, and he even autographed the book.
That's amazing.
I actually told him all about my story. I told him this will be the next movie if he wants. I thought about
did
today.
You write this, or somebody else wrote that?
Well, this is a Bruce Cameron book. And I got the other book in the other room that's directly for your Rainbow Connection, which I was going to be auctioning off. But this one right here, he signed for my daughter. And he has about 12 of these books by about different dogs. And he actually had the story about the dog that got lost in the mountains of Colorado. Did you see it at the movie theaters this past year?
I don't think so.
Adriana, what was it called? The Dog's Way Home?
No, I didn't see it.
Remember that one? Well, it was about a dog in the mountains, and he actually came all the way from the mountains and came to our neighborhood back home.
Wow.
So I was talking with him, and that was pretty exciting.
Exactly.
Let me get some water. One sec.
Absolutely. So I'll fill the air if Jen doesn't have any questions.
No, please go ahead. You guys are doing such a great job. I don't want to
Well, you can see women who are used to talking.
I know, right?
And I will tell you, she probably does as much public speaking as I do, and we love it. We, it's not one of those taxes and that kind of stuff. So he's demanding to go out for a walk, and
I know he can't have it right now. He also needs food.
He doesn't understand that, Mom. I want it now.
Right now.
I'm actually sitting in front of a window, and it's funny. He disappeared for a minute, and I looked outside, and he was out there with Ethan. Somehow he had gotten himself out there.
Well, he's absolutely.
I know what he needs. He just can't have it just right now.
Exactly. How old is he?
1 a.m.
He's more than 5, is he?
He's what?
How old is he? He can't be more than 5.
He just turned a year.
He turned a year.
Yeah, he is a puppy.
Oh, see, that makes so much sense because I feel so this young, and he's such a love. He's such a love.
He has to chill out and just lying at my feet all day. I wanted him to get up here on camera, and he would not do it. And now he's just reared up and ready to go. I don't know.
Because he's like, we've done enough sleeping, Mom. We're done enough sleeping.
Might have to switch to my phone and take a walk around the block as a live feed for the 3:00 hour.
There you go. Because we are dying to see a moon. I don't even know what size it is. But
that's a good point. We'll definitely have to get out there soon. Are you going to read another letter, Lace? Yeah.
I want to.
Absolutely.
Let's see. So this one is from Pueblo. I live very far from Pueblo.
I was like, the person or the
ever even been
location?
to Pueblo.
Wow.
But I still summons that baby home. Let's see how it goes here. Let's see. Oh, okay. A little thank you. Oh, okay.
Even better, thank you.
Even better. $10. Here we go.
Told you deserved to be paid.
See, this was actually my first payment, and I appreciate it. So
Michael,
coronavirus is going to help me because I got denied unemployment for working at my 2 sport arena jobs. So I have like 10, 20 more hours a day to spend finding people's pets.
There you go. There you go.
Say, dear Lace, thank you so much for helping us find Jake. Your kindness helped reunite us with our pup faster than I would have ever thought possible. We appreciate you so much. Thanks again. Sam, Amanda, Coco, and Jake. Aww.
That's so wonderful.
And I know this was a nice black lab.
Uh-huh.
And he was roaming the streets of Pueblo.
Wow.
And I just happened to look on, I believe probably Craigslist, Lost.
Mm-hmm.
Coincide. I was like, streets, zip codes, all that stuff is very important. So I was like, I think this is a match. And sure enough, boom. And they Lightspeed. That one was Lightspeed. I found that one.
Well, you almost need to, because with the breed you're talking about and the type of disposition I can feel, that dog should have been picked up by just about anybody.
Right.
You're talking about a lab.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah. So you're the more desirable ones I worry about the most.
You know, there was a dog that was in my neighborhood and traveled probably about 55 blocks east,
Mhm.
and was found probably about 3 weeks later by me.
Wow.
And all I remembered is big old ears, like radar ears. Like, no, I know those ears. I remember somebody's looking for that dog with those ears. And as amazing as it was, as far away, I mean, dogs travel, right?
Right.
Scared.
Now, were you getting the word out? How are you doing that?
Good question. Now, I'm in between. You know, I wanted to get established with a nice website to make it look legit, to make people not feel that I'm just some random person making some random business.
Okay.
So I'm establishing repertoire with the people in my neighborhood.
Right.
And then I'm expanding outwards. So I want everyone
website up, right?
Yeah, my website is now up.
Mm-hmm.
And all my people, I'm going to start with a grand opening and have everybody in my neighborhood come together for a grand opening, tell them what business I do, what services I provide. And if they didn't want it, then they can just spread the word. So I figure if one person can maybe tell 2 people,
yeah,
hey, by next year, they might make a Lace Ventura movie.
Well, it rhymes. I love it. Let's go with
Or
that.
I can be, you know, well, see, I named myself after Ace Ventura, right?
Oh.
Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey's movie from years ago.
I know it well.
I mean, it fit me to a T, even though I'm a female. It's like, oh, no, my little babies come. But yeah, no, I thought, I've had a lot of things in this world that I could have been, but this one right here fits me to a T.
There you go.
So I'm definitely gonna do the Denver Expo. We can get over this coronavirus. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I have business cards, flyers, and anybody can call me at any time, and I'm ready as long as they're within my state.
Yeah, yeah. Location.
Exactly. Thank God I'm blessed to be in Denver, Colorado, because we're a pet loving community here, and
absolutely.
And
So
we're in that exact area where
really
you're talking
good things about that.
Where the kids, not so much, but all these kids out here, they have fur babies. And I have like 4 doggy daycares within like 10 blocks of me.
That's wonderful.
So
Great.
I've already
have you done anything with Meetup?
No.
Yep, you should look into it, because that's a great place. I'm starting when we're done with not meeting up, because all the rest of my classes are easy to put on Zoom. But what I want to do is people like you in my state is have a networking where, because I have this amazing vet and I already did a video with him on basic care and stuff like that. So just networking. I'm looking for a pet sitter, because I get asked this all the time. Do you know? And I'm like, no, I don't know.
Right.
Do you know a pet sitter? So that's why it's great to meet you, because if I have a client in Denver, I can say, I don't have to deal with your lost pet. I'm sending you to her.
There
and
you go.
Kind of networking is really
I'm on care.com, and they have pet sitters, care.com.
Yeah.
So I'm on there.
Oh, good, because you can get hired anywhere. So we're going to have to swap Facebook pages and do all that wonderful girl uplifting support.
Yeah, definitely. And I know people in the past that have had pets that they've lost and wanted to communicate. There's even a lady out here. Her name is Lena. She has a $10,000 reward on her Jack Russell. Has like a little white dash here. $10,000 reward. All she wanted was a pet psychic. She's like, does anybody know a pet psychic? And I'm like, I'm thinking I am, but I'm really not a pet psychic. So I can
Yeah.
refer you because she wants that baby home really bad.
Yeah, and that's heartbreaking, and that type of stuff. So, especially if she thinks it's stolen, is she putting that kind of money up because she thinks it's stolen?
Well, she had dogs, trackers, because that's another business is the
Yes, it is.
bloodhounds or just getting a scent dog.
Yeah.
And it stopped at a certain street.
Mm.
So she's
So
stuck.
she's thinking somebody's got it.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like our host who took
I am wondering if are you
vacation-
just hearing, let me out over there.
You don't get off of this
It's
thing.
pretty aggressive. I see that Ethan is back in here, and I've got another caller coming in about 10 minutes that's going to talk about doggy massage.
Yeah.
We're going to replay an interview that I did with Neverland Senior Sanctuary Farms.
Ooh.
I'm going to take a walk around the block. It was really
Before you lose a limb.
It was really lovely talking with you ladies.
would
I'm going to leave you
love
in the capable hands of Ethan.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jen.
So much.
You're a sweetie.
So Jen, are we going to a video in just a moment, or what?
Yeah, we're going to do our sponsor commercials, and then we will play my interview, and then hopefully by then Jeanette will be on the call with us, and we can learn about some doggy massage techniques.
Ooh, I'll be tuned in.
Does she?
So Ethan, just wanted to say thanks for this opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a pleasure to have you both on, and I know I'm gonna. Again, if anybody's interested, it's bridgingworlds.us. And then you probably mentioned this, Lace, but how do people find you? Remind them of the website one more time too, please.
And it's yourrainbowconnection.com. And I have a link there to my Facebook as well on the same exact .com. Or I have a phone number listed as well. And I'd be available for email if you had any questions. And if you're here in Colorado, we can talk or we can meet one-on-one and see what's best for you, what services I can help you with.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, get some rest, and thank you so much for joining us. That was awesome.
Thanks for doing this.
Yes.
We want to remind our viewers out there, if you are watching and you feel that you have the ability to help one of our small pet businesses out there, they are struggling just as much as any other business right now, if not more. People are struggling to just make ends meet at the moment.
Yes, ma'am.
But if you are watching and you feel that you have the capacity to give, you can go to our website, streamathonforpets.com. There is a donate button there. All of the donations that are brought in are tax deductible. They're managed by the Players Philanthropy Fund, a registered 501c3 nonprofit in all 50 states. So any donation is tax deductible. It is a donation. And then the process is that the small businesses that we are trying to support apply through a grant process for funding. So any of your donations are going to go directly to those small businesses, those independent pet businesses that are essential services. Think about your local pet retailer, your local pet groomer, people who have been really impacted. They're struggling to keep people on payroll, and they're looking for relief, and you can help. So every little bit does count, and we appreciate in advance any donations. If you're unable to give but you're enjoying the program, please share it on Facebook with our live stream so that we bring in more viewers. Let people in your network know that they can tune in. This is going to be continuing. It's 2:00 a.m. Central Time here in St. Louis. We're going until about 5 p.m. So we have several more hours of awesome programming coming to you. Right now, we do want to thank some of our financial sponsors and supporters. We'll be back live with our next presenter, and we're going to learn all about doggy massage or pet massage. And so stick around. We'll be right